second keynote address. So may I invite you, Mr. Dhananjay, MD, Focus Group, India and Dubai, to please take center stage. Thank you.
So thank you, Anuj and the entire team. So we are going to talk about service readiness framework. This is in context, really in need of the COVID scenario in specific. So we'll touch upon four key things as part of this presentation on transformation, customer mind shift, key focus pillars, and service readiness. So as we see, the only biggest information that really is going through is transformation. It's always a talk that is being spelled out in the entire industry about pre-COVID and post-COVID. But how said, the transformation has happened a long 6-7 years back, and also the industry is facing a lot of new challenges, and then they are really transforming from time to time. Disruptive, I say this is one of the key words that is really making a big impact in the whole service business models. Change is one of the key pillars to really progress in business and also in personal life. And the speed at which the whole business model is really making a big change is really, a thing that people have to really go along with them, and in terms of looking at the various business models that are evolving in the last couple of years is really interesting to watch for. So one of the insight that really brings in today for us as a discussion point is the information. So how information today a consumer have access to, so that really makes them to shift a big shift from brand to brand. So the availability of information and customer education, right from since 1999 when Dr. Kumar way back in started on CSI. From that day, if you can really look at the kind of customer education each of the brands are investing, is really a big transformation. And today, especially with India, the customer education, customer awareness, and customer talking about a lot of information and also comparisons from the digital network is really making a big difference. Information is wealth. So a person really having the right information is a key success to build the business and also transform the entire community in specific. So I would bring a kind of a new change that is really going through. So all of us would have seen this evolution in the last every year, where you would really go to a particular petrol station to refill your vehicle. So today that is getting transformed. Instead of the customer coming to a particular station or a particular place, the business is moving towards the customers. And I'm here to give you a very brief information about called CAFU. CAFU is called car fuel. So primarily when this whole thing was started, it was really a question that this particular model will never work. Especially this particular CAFU is now operational in the Middle East. So the first and foremost, the activity that was done is they first created an awareness. So primarily the first initial phase of the whole thing was talking about and educating the customers why they could use the service and how they can really impact from saving time and also not burning more number of stressful times in the traffic. So from an awareness perspective, then it really moved on to an adaptation. So for any business model to really work and be successful is a word of mouth. So customers, when they started using it, they started slowly creating that awareness to their friends, and also the very key momentum is it is really helping them to make and plan their work in a very better way. Now, CAFU first of all started with the first service of delivering fuel as a key activity as part of their business strategy. So from awareness to adoption, they then moved on to adding services. So now CAFU not only is doing a kind of a car refueling activity. They add on service at the doorstep of doing a sanitization and also interior cleaning, and they came out with special packages which added on to make a convenient activity rather than the customer going to a car detailing center. Today they are able to fuel their car at their place. They are able to also do an interior cleaning. So from a car fuel to add on to a interior exterior cleaning services, now they are further adding on. Now they're further adding on to change engine oil at the customer place. They are doing a battery replacement and also tire change. So if you look at the whole process, when we discuss whether is it possible or not, 5-6 years back we said this particular model will not be successful. This particular model will not really generate revenue. But today, Carrefour has a big touch points. They have covered almost 20% of the market share, and especially in this, there is a lot of positivity that the customer is really experiencing it. So going that extra mile is a very, very important factor in order to build the business and services, and more important is the customer engagement. Yes, the current business models of after sales will continue to exist, but these are all additional value add services which will contribute for a more customer engagement, and eventually it will transform. Because if you look at, there is a lot of disruption, especially mobility as a service, software as a service, and the new trend that is going to go is service at your doorstep. This is not new, but evolution is moving very, very fast. The next is customer mind shift. So primarily, this as a very key element is how are we really making an impact with respect to customer convenience, and second thing is the trust building. So where the most important thing is the customer communication. So earlier, if you want to update a customer, you would generally make a process of calling the customer, briefing him what are the identification of works that you have done, and then send him an email or a WhatsApp. Now the complete trust building exercise is moving towards a video based communication, which is really making a big mind shift. And winning arts, this is really an important task as part of the whole customer journey. And the second important factor in the whole after sales business that is really going to do is the millennials impacting the way the key purchases are done, be it a car, be it a house, be it anything. Today, there is a big generation shift which is going to transform the business forever in a very, very new paradigm shift. The third insight from a global aspects also is about customer habits and expectations. Today, the awareness is one of the key element of the business transformation element. Today, you can search online, you can get information, you can get about schemes, you can compare information of various brands and products, and knowledge is freely available. Sometimes this is good and bad, but the more kind of awareness that is being created through the knowledge like Google is something not only from kind of a people in the cities, it's also going rural. Today, the way that information and adaptability to the new mobile usage is really going in a big way. In fact, the number of mobile usages in India is the highest ever. So in fact, like people are having more than one mobile, which is really making them connected to the global world. Also, one of the important thing is the loyalty. As I said, it is about employee loyalty and also the customer loyalty. These are the two real pillars of any business, be it after sales, be it sales, or be it used cars. This customer habits and expectations are really going to make the big shift in the industry, and we all have to be very, very positive about getting a feedback. And this is very, very important is a negative feedback from a customer is always an opportunity to improve. And this has really helped in the past for a big transformation in the auto industry. Now, coming on to the real key focus pillars of the business, or four people in particular. And any business ideas is primarily to create the value generation of all stakeholders. Earlier, it used to be a kind of a silo way of working with the departments. Today, integration is the key. Integration of all the stakeholders, integration of all the business models, and as presented in the previous thing, today the after sales business service is not presented as only repairing your cars or only promoting the offers. Today it is more about mobility. There is a dealer in India who offers a very good service process, wherein which if a customer is traveling from one place to another place, he is being offered a pickup from the airport and then brought back, and also he's been opened up his dealer facility for using the business meeting rooms, and also he can invite customers for a discussion at his place. So these are all becoming a way of new business services. So now business of after sales business is not going to be only repairing cars. It is going to be business information that all these four stakeholders has to really come together in place. These are the key influences for a continuous engagement, continuous improvement, and people, I again repeat, are the key assets for the success of retail and wholesale business, be it auto or not auto. And investors, as all of you know, their faith in the people and the brand and the customer helps in creating more entrepreneurs. Especially India needs more entrepreneurs. The smaller entrepreneurs contribute more than 30% to the economic growth. Today, as we see, a lot of investors are also help their communities during COVID times. And more important thing is the brand. The brand puts a continuous efforts in the product and service offerings that is being looked at, the way they are launching their vehicles, the way they are engaging with the customers through customer experience centers. Today, they don't call it as dealerships in most of the places. They call it as a customer experience center. What does this customer experience center brings in? The customer experience center brings in the clear education on the products, the service offerings that has been developed by the teams, and in order to succeed, the customer has to experience the differentiation of the business. So service differentiation is a very key factor in order to engage your business in a more professional and also more successful manner. So as you look at, customer is a strong pillar for business sustenance. Moving forward, what you sow is what you reap. So one of the key things for any successful business is the core values. The core values of the brand, the core values of the business existence, and the core values that is being inculcated as a society. So while these core values always have a bigger impact, it is also whatever the value generation that needs to come in place. This is going to be the real need of the business in the coming days. Why I say you this is, the people with a lot of good values and integrity are the key pillars of the business growth as well. And process, yes, a process is important to have consistency across all the touch points, and after sales, it is all known to all the people that they are the real stars. They are the real warriors who are servicing the customers and building the trust in the business. Now, moving on to the service readiness, these three elements are very, very important that we need to look at as we start building our framework for the future. One is sustainability, digitalization, and service innovation. So I keep writing on service innovation because that is the one which really drives in the business sustenance in place. Now, talking about sustainability, the process adherence and also profitability is a key for any business to survive, because People retention is also another pillar that needs to be looked at as part of the sustainability process. The core process keeps evolving, and I learned the new thing from SOP to POP, which is the progressive operation procedures. That brings in a lot of sustainability into the process. The key to today's success, earlier, after sales marketing was really neglected. After sales communications used to always go through different channels. Today, you have the power of online selling, and a lot of app-based solutions are in the market, which really makes complete convenience to the customers. And today, lot of communications are being done through video-based solutions, which brings in trust, transparency, and more important, a wow factor. So, service innovation is another important need for the industry, because war on waste. There is a lot of talent wasted in the system across every network. There is a lot of talents wasted in terms of unwanted idle time. There are a lot of KPIs that has been defined, and most important thing which I really look forward as a big transformation is primarily the effort that the dealer team are putting in a manual entry. So our effort in the market is to drive a digital-based final inspection process, a digital-based communication, and a digital-based EC service process learning that could really make everyone really into the best things that is possible. Now, these four important things are really important for my own personal learning and also our engagement with our clients globally. Market intelligence is one of the key things which is generally neglected or being only offered by the big brands, but this has completely changed in the recent past because of the availability of information across different channels. And a stakeholder engagement is very important to really keep them a lot of transparent information that is available. And more important thing is a continuous capability development has to be part of your strategy. The reason being, today the industry is moving towards e-mobility, which is not only electrical vehicle mobility, it is also about using the latest techniques and trends to kind of train your people and keep them continuously engaged. And one of the important factors, what I'm talking about is not a new thing or is not something is being used at every instances. This particular customer has been a kind of a center of focus way back even in Kautilya Arthashastra. It defines an organization as Swami, Amatya, Janpat, Durg, Kosh, Dan, Mitrani, and Pratyutya. So primarily it all talks about an organization, and if you look at the organization, the customer is the center of attraction, and customer drives the influence between the top management and also the middle management and also the down the level people. It is important, if you take care of your customers, the company will sustain, the company's growth is assured, and it's very, very important. What is important to the customer is a very big element as part of the service readiness framework. Thank you, Anuj. That's from my end. I'm open for questions.
That's fantastic. I think that was a great ringside view that we got from Mr. DJ, who is the founder partner of Focus Engineering India and the Middle East. So friends, the rules have changed, but the basics remain the same. So even the Chanakya Niti is evergreen and can always be applied to the way we work. So any questions, please feel free to put in the chat box, which is right there at your top right. The questions will directly reach us and they will reach Mr. DJ as well. Any questions, please feel free. We're waiting for next few seconds. Post that, we can begin with the felicitations. Okay, so I think there is a question coming your way, DJ, from again Mr. Rao Pratap Singh. I think he's just sent a hello, a hi, and I think he's typing the question. Okay, DJ, we also have one interesting comment. People want to know more on Chanakya. So we should probably have a separate session for that. India.
So, for example, if you look at from a Chanakya's structure, it clearly gives you a lot of insight about value creation and how a CEO or a deputy CEO or general managers or executives in an organization, and it completely defines a complete ecosystem of a business that needs to really work through. So we all talk about modern management, but all the modern management lessons has been taken from our own Indian wisdoms, and that is from Kautilya Arthashastra. And I'm a big new learner on Chanakya's methods, and believe me, it gives a lot of insights. It gives insights about how do you want to work, how do you want to plan your resources, how do you want to do your time management, how do you want to handle critical situations in the business, and all those things are really a kind of a model that really helps a kind of a value creation to the entire community and the society. So I would really look at and request many leaders to really look at and improve on the things. Okay, implementation of after sales process and dealership. Okay, how that will be addressed here. Okay, so this is Pratap, to answer your thing. This is a method that we all already are learned from the market leaders and my own personal working with Bharati. The first is on any SOP to be really lived up to is the awareness. So first is how much effectively are you communicating to your channel partners makes an impact of whether to use the SOP. And second thing is continuous checks and continuous handholding. So on the ground, handholding is very, very important for after sales, especially to understand how the SOP has to be used, because many a times we develop SOPs, we just circulate it as a bulletin to the entire network. It is not been explained. See, the person who develops it has the complete knowledge and the methods that what the SOP means. We always believe by reading people will understand. Believe me, by giving more explanation, handholding, and also continuous audits and engaging third parties, really who has a third eye, especially who be a neutral party to both the dealer or the retail business and the OEMs, really brings in a lot of validation. And more important thing is, for a successful SOP utilization is the feedback being inculcated in redeveloping the SOP according to the industry needs. So especially in India, as a different culture, you need to handhold them first, create awareness, and then continuously believe and speak in all the forums. So long term, as I explained in my keynote, is going to change the way it works. It's going to be a blended solution of an on-site and a virtual method of looking at thing, and also a live progressive process that you need to look into and improve on time to time.
Great, that's fantastic. So now do we get into the felicitation, or are there any more questions for Mr. DJ? So I guess that's about it. So let's now get into the felicitation process. See, our speakers have worked so hard. They have given so much of their time. So I think the least that we can do is to felicitate them and to thank them from the bottom of our hearts for the brilliant work that has been happening.
Yes, and to felicitate Mr. Dhananjayan, I would like to invite Mr. Daryl Desali, VP Business Development Amplus Solar, Mr. Gaurav Maan, CEO K2B, and Mr. Arundam Lahiri, CEO ASDC.
So let's do the honor.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Dhananjayan,
Thank
for
you all.
your most enlightening thoughts. And now I think we have time for our networking lunch.
Mr. Larry is here, Anita ma'am. I think if you want
Mr.
to say-
Larry, would you like to say a word? I'm sorry, I didn't realize that. Yes.
No, I think it was a very good insight. Both Mr. Punavaram and Mr. Dhananjayan, I think, has made very, very nice presentations and very, very useful and contemporary, I would say, because of all the digitalization that's happening. And of course, in the afternoon, I'll also talk about some of the digital skills initiatives that we've been taking up. So thank you, Mr. Dhananjayan, for the wonderful presentation.
Thank you, sir.
Larry.
Beautiful. And I think, DJ, I feel that, the kind of ideas and innovation and the new tech that you have mastered, that too, not just in India, but across the world. I think bodies like ASDC, you can do a lot with them, if you partner them, because they are doing so many programs for skilling and they have gone all out for their digital programs, interventions, RPL. I think I see a very good, association leading to bearing very good fruits for the industry, if you want to explore.
Yeah.
Sure. Thanks, Anuj. Thank you.
Great. Thanks,
Because
Satan.
already we got a discussion already with Arindam and
Great.
so hopefully in the next IVAS we will present some more case studies.
Wow. So I think it was a premonition that I just had. All right. Okay. So I'm getting a lot of telepathic waves right here on IVAS. So I think it's helping us in moving in the right direction.